Hello, how are you getting on? Today we're going to be looking at idioms. We're going to look at 20 English idioms that everyone should know. I'll give you my opinions on them, give them a bit of a rate and let you know am I using them, and you can let me know if you're using them. Make sure you like these videos because nobody will watch them if you don't like them. They'll think they're shite. Well, they are shite, but you have to try and convince people otherwise so they'll watch them for me. And yeah, subscribe to me because I'm delicious. So first off here, we're going to go under the weather. So, under the weather, what does it mean to feel ill? How do you use it? In England, we love to talk about the weather and will do so often. But don't be fooled by this common phrase. If someone says they're feeling under the weather, your response should be, I hope you feel better. Not, would you like to borrow an umbrella? Very, very important information in the how do you use it section. So, under the weather, do I use it? I don't. I'll tell you why. It's not powerful enough for me. I'm a bit of a whinger, a bit of a moaner. I like, if I'm sick, I want people to feel sorry for me. I like to be a bit dramatic about it. And under the weather, it's a very stoic statement. It's like, oh, I'm not the best, but I'll soldier on. I have absolutely no interest in soldiering on. I want to get into the minutiae of every symptom I'm having and really ham it up. So I wouldn't be the sort of fella to be using under the weather. That's for a more modest person who is sick. So under the weather, I'm probably going to forget that I'm rating them. I'm going to give it 3 out of 10. It just doesn't have a place in my dramatic vocabulary. Like, I'm the sort of fellow who'd go, oh, I feel horrendous. I feel atrocious. And like, it'll be mild. I'll have a sniffle. I'll be like, oh, I feel atrocious. I feel it's the Irish way. We're a very dramatic, whingy people. But I'll be grand then once I got that out of me. The ball is in your court. I don't like this one. We'll read through it anyway. What does it mean? It's up to you. How to use it? It's your move now. But this idiom refers to life rather than a sport. If you've got the ball, the decision is yours, and someone is waiting for your decision. Excellent. How do you use it section. The ball is in your court. I don't really get this phrase because I've talked about this before. Surely if we're playing the same game with the same ball, we're in the same court. We're not playing them on two separate... What sport uses two separate courts? I believe all sports require us to be on the same court if we are engaging in the same game. Perhaps I'm missing some. And certainly if you're playing a different game to me on a different court, I don't need to be worrying about that. I need to be focusing on my own game. So I don't really get this one, how it, came up, but I'm probably just being stupid. It's something I do. Do I use this one? No. I feel like the people who use this idiom, it's usually like in a business environment and they're always trying to sound slick. Like they'll be like, the ball is in your court. And you're like, okay. But like you would never say that to somebody that you liked and respected. You're just trying to sound slick. Don't like it. Spill the beans. I don't know. I feel like this one's been replaced. I'd love to see idioms in 20 years' time. It's going to be like spill the tea and stuff like that. Like this one has just been replaced by the concept of tea, which I only recently got in touch with because I'm not very modern, and people start telling me, oh, the tea is like the gossip. So yeah, I'm learning every day. This is to give away a secret, how to use it. If you told somebody about their own surprise party, what a jerk. What a jerk. You'd have spilled the beans or even let the cat out of the bag. You don't want to do that. I don't use that one either. The secret is out. Yeah, I don't like it. I think I forgot to rate the ball is in your court. 1 out of 10. Spilled beans, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. I just don't think it has a place in modern society. It's been replaced with other phrases, and you just don't hear it out and about in the wild anymore. Break a leg, so far I think this is one you do hear. People do still say break a leg. I hear it reasonably often. I never say it myself. But yeah, to wish someone luck. So now, break a leg, I used to think. So I'm confused now, because I thought what this meant is like, go at it awful very hard till your legs break. But I think what it means is actually like, is it like breaking like how people break a turkey leg for good luck? I don't know. Let's look in the how do you use it section and find out some more information about this idiom. This idiom is not at all threatening, often accompanied by a thumbs up. Break a leg is an encouraging cheer of luck. It originates from when the successful theatre performers would bow so many times after a show that they would break a leg. I feel like that never happened. I feel like this is made up horseshit. Yeah, because I thought, don't they break a bone like at Thanksgiving? Is that the leg bone or is that a different bone? It's a different bone, isn't it? I don't know. I've never been to a Thanksgiving. If you've been to a Thanksgiving, tell me what bone do you break for good luck? Or have I imagined this? Is this not a thing? Maybe. Do you ever imagine something and think it's the truth? It happens. I'd say about 50% of the information in my head is stuff that I've just completely pulled out of my fucking arse. Pull someone's leg. Oh, we're big on the leg memes now. I'm just pulling your leg. Yeah, I don't hear it a lot anymore. It's been replaced with other things, I think. You wouldn't really hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm just pulling your leg." It's an older person's phrase, I would say at this point. This is to play a practical joke. How to use it? This is the part. Oh, by the way, break a leg. I'm gonna give that like a. I'm gonna give it like a 6 out of 10 because I think it's still relevant. This is the perfect phrase to learn if you're a fan of practical jokes. You absolute trickster out with your practical jokes. Pull their leg is similar to wind someone up, which I do say. So I say this. I'd say, oh, I'm winding you up or I'm winding them up. I'd say that much more than pulling someone's leg. Use it in context. Relax. Oh yeah, this is use in context, sorry. Relax. I'm just pulling your leg. Or, wait, are you pulling my leg? Absolute trickster going around. Be careful of this guy going around pulling people's legs. Yeah, so I prefer wind someone up, so I would never use pulling a leg because I just feel like winding somebody up is a superior phrase. So, yeah, I'm going to give that a 3 out of 10. There's better phrases out there. One of them is mentioned in the how to use section. That's pretty weak idiom for me. Sit on the fence. This is an absolute 10 out of 10 phrase. It's one of the ones that doesn't sound cringe. Like, if I come at you, let me just hit you with one of these. Like, if I come at you, right, and I genuinely say, oh my God, what happened? Spill the beans. You're actually going to physically cringe if I say that to you. If I come over to you and I go, oh, I'm under the weather. The ball is in your court on this one, Jake. You're gonna wince. But I can easily come up to you and go, you're sitting on the fence on this. And I feel like it's fine. It feels natural. It doesn't feel like you're trying to idiom force. It just feels like natural speech. So I like this one. Let's look in the how to use section. If you're sat on the fence, you've not decided which side of an argument you agree with. I'm on the fence about hot yoga classes. I'm certainly not on the fence about them. I'm fat and I'd probably die if I went and did hot yoga. Translates as, I'm not sure whether I'd enjoy hot yoga, or whether, sorry, I misread there. I got too excited and got ahead of myself. It translates as, I'm not sure whether I'd enjoy yoga in a sauna yet. So yeah, I like sat on the fence. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. I may have already given it a rating that was different, but it's a solid idiom. It's got its place. Doesn't feel forced. It's the common man's idiom, I think. Sat on the fence. Through thick and thin. I don't mind through thick and thin. It's a bit hardcore. Like it feels a bit like, you know, somebody like will corner you on a night out and they've had too much to drink and they start getting real deep with you and they start connecting with you on a level you're not completely sure you want to connect with them on, and they start saying things like this. They start going, oh man, we've been through thick and thin, but like you haven't. You know, you've kind of, one time maybe you dropped your ice cream and they bought you one, which is nice, but I wouldn't. The people like that say phrases like this. So yeah, let's look at the how to use section. Often used to describe families or BFFs. Through thick and thin means that you're by each other's side no matter what happens, through the bad times as well as the good. So yeah, this one for me, I feel like it's a bit melodramatic, so yeah, that's gonna put it out for me. So through thick and thin is not for me. Once in a blue moon, I do use this. I use it a bit. This means something happens rarely. How to use section. This charming phrase is used to describe something that doesn't happen often. Example: I remember I remembered I remember to call my parents from my study abroad trip once. Oh, okay, sorry, that sentence really confused me. I remember to call my parents from my study abroad trip once in a blue moon. I feel like you could have come up with a less weird sentence than that, because it really confused me. When I got to remember, I remember to call my parents. I was confused. I was like, where's this sentence going? From my study abroad trip once in a blue moon. I just feel like you could have done better than that. Okay, yeah, I use this once in a blue moon. Again, it's got the practicality of sat on the fence or sitting on the fence. It doesn't feel forced like a lot of these will feel forced if I say them. So yeah, I think once in a blue moon, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. It doesn't. No, that's too high. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Usable. It doesn't thrill me when I hear it out in the wild. I'm not like, oh, fuck yeah, once in a blue moon. But at the same time, like, I like it. I like once in a blue moon. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Yeah, that means something's good in the how to use section. Sliced bread must have revolutionized life in England. We're learning that I'm not very good at reading. I'm dyslexic, so you're just going to have to put up with that. Sliced bread must have revolutionized life in England because it's since been used as the ultimate benchmark for things that are great. We love it almost as much as tea. Wow. I feel so connected with that sentence. Yeah, sliced bread, best things in sliced bread. I use it the odd time. It can go either way. I think if you use it in a kind of a humorous way, it's like, oh geez, that's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I think it's enjoyable. It doesn't really have its place in a serious context, so it's not maybe as versatile as some of the other idioms. But I think it's a strong 7 out of 10 for best thing since sliced bread. Take it with a pinch of salt. This one again flows naturally into conversation. Feels right when you're saying it. Doesn't feel like a forced idiom. Don't take somebody too seriously. This is basically how I'm described to everybody that I meet by everybody that knows me. So I hear this phrase a lot. And the how to use section. I heard that elephants can fly now, but Sam often makes up stories. So I take everything he says with a pinch of salt. This is I'm a bit of a Sam. I come out with just horseshit all the time, and you have to be careful of it. So, yeah, absolutely love this one. Take it with a pinch of salt. I'm gonna go 8 out of 10. It's a classic. It works. It's commonly used. It's got it all going for it. It doesn't excite me, but it's a good idiom. Come rain or shine. This means no matter what. How to use your again with the not being able to read. You guarantee to do something regardless of the weather or any situation that might arise. I'll be at your football game, come rain or shine. I never use this one because I'm not that loyal. No, I'm joking. I'm a very loyal person. But yeah, come rain or shine, I don't hear it much. I feel like I used to hear it more when I was a kid, but it's kind of gone out of fashion now. I would never use it myself. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It's kind of mid. Maybe even a 4. You just don't hear it anymore. Go down in flames. I love this one. So again, this is the kind of thing that excites me. I love to fail spectacularly. I love dramatic phrases. I love speaking, like, I'm always, as I said at the start, I love horrendous. I love saying things are atrocious. I love just getting all my emotion into it. Go down in flames speaks to the absolute melodrama of my personality. So, like, for instance, if I have some sort of a minor failure, I'll absolutely say, like, what would be a minor failure I might have? I made a sandwich and it wasn't as nice as I thought it was going to be. I would say that sandwich went down in flames. I love just the dramaticism of it. It's so poetic. So yeah, this is absolutely for me. This phrase is fairly obvious. This is the how to use section. This phrase is fairly obvious. That exam went down in flames. I should have learned my little tie-in. I should have learned my English idioms. Nice. Yeah, I just love this one. I'm going to give, this is the first 10 out of 10. It's dramatic. You can use it as a daily driver idiom. Nobody's going to cringe going, oh, you're really trying to use idioms now. And it just has that little spark that some of the other idioms don't have. So down in flames, absolutely. You can say that again. Yeah, no, I think this has been replaced by things like, preach or or, people might say, I'm a bit old for this, but people might go louder for the people in the back, or, it's been replaced by a lot of things. So you don't really hear it that much anymore. How to use generally exclaimed in agreement. When my friend says, Ryan Reynolds is gorgeous. Oh, I am so pandered to. This is such a pop culture topic. Ryan Reynolds is such a hottie. You can reply and say, you can say that again. But they won't, because they've already said it. And if they do, then you'll think they're an idiot. You'll be like, well, I didn't actually mean say it again. Please stop saying it. I heard you the first time. That's why I exclaimed my agreement. Yeah, you can say that again. I don't say it. As I say, it's been replaced by a lot of other things. So, yeah, 4 out of 10 I'd say with you can say that again. See eye to eye. Yeah, I don't use this one. It feels a bit forced. Feels like something I'm forcing myself to say. When it comes to agreeing with somebody, I'll just hype them up. I'll be just like, oh, fuck yes, or, and people are like, well, what do you say in a professional environment? I'm not a professional kind of a person. So it's not really dramatic enough for me. Again, if I agree, I'm the sort of fella, I'm ride or die. If I agree with the take, I don't feel moderately about anything. I don't have something I'm like, oh, I basically agree with that. I'm either absolutely all in, I would die for an opinion, or I hate something. Those are the two states I exist in. What's my favorite flavor? Yogurt. There's no yogurt flavor that I'm like, oh, I don't mind summer fruits. I'm like, I live and die for summer fruits. I live and fucking die for summer fruits yogurts. I live and I fucking breathe to have another hazelnut yogurt. That's the kind of way that prune yogurts are a war crime. This is how I feel. I feel deep and I feel hard. And see eye to eye just doesn't have the dramatic flair. So 4 out of 10. Jump on the bandwagon. I love calling myself and other people out for jumping on bandwagons. When somebody's if somebody does something very impressionable, like they've been very easily influenced to do something, it's really funny to call them out on it. In a banterful way, never with hate. You're always trying to be nice to people. But do you know what? I absolutely love. Does anybody else love how impressionable they are? Like when I do something, and it's like so obvious why I'm doing it. Like I watched, a television program, and then the next day I start a hobby from that television program. I just love how impressionable I am. I love when ads work on me. Like when I watch an ad and then I'm obsessed with the product. I just find it absolutely hilarious how easily I'll jump on bandwagons. I'm like a fucking fish. And we all are. So jump on the bandwagon. I absolutely love it. Say it all the time. This is how to use. When a person joins in with something popular or does something just because it's cool. I do this all the time. I love clout. I love being cool. Don't have my own personality whatsoever. See this brunch-based example. She doesn't even like avocado on toast. She's just jumping on the bandwagon. Love the avocado tie-in because, listen, avocados, first of all, didn't fucking exist 12 years ago, if you ask me. Find me a picture of somebody eating an avocado in 2001, and I'll stop making so much noise about this. But I don't think it fucking exists. I don't fucking remember them. I'm sorry, I don't remember avocados existing then. And then all of a sudden, I seen one person eating avocado, and it was like a fucking virus. They were everywhere. They taste like a hand. That's what it's just like. It's like a kiwi in its design, and it tastes like a hand. But anyway, jump on the bandwagon. 10 out of 10. As right as rain, wouldn't say that. Again, I'm sure you're probably getting. I'm very dramatic, so as right as rain, it's just not. It just doesn't have the energy that I like in a phrase. I'd be like, oh, I'm absolutely fucking lifting it, or that fucking sucks, cunt and diesel. I need to go all in. So right as rain, it's a bit too reserved for me. How to use it? Another weather-based idiom. But this one is slightly trickier. We moan about the rain, but right as rain is actually a positive comment. I'm as right as rain may be exclaimed with glee and asked... What? I got lost there. May be exclaimed with glee when asked if everything is okay, and it is. This text, I'm going to zoom in because I keep losing where I am. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. You're just going to have to put up with that. A normal person would edit all this out. But the reality is that I can't fucking read. It's as simple as that. That's part of who I am. So you're going to put up with it. So yeah, as right as rain. I don't understand what as right as rain means. That just seems like random horseshit that people started saying. I don't like it. You can probably see that I'm very negative on right as rain. 2 out of 10. Beat around the bush. Love this one. Say it all the time. To avoid saying something. I love people who beat around the bush. I love beating around the bush myself. Beating around the bush is when you speak nonsense, avoiding a question because you don't want to express your opinion or answer truthfully. It's just an absolute workhorse idiom. It absolutely has its place. So I'm going to say beat around the bush. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a rock solid idiom. Hit the sack. Bit cringe. Hey, it's just, I don't know. I feel like if I had an American accent, I could pull this off. Hey, Judy, I'm just gonna hit the sack. I could probably make that work, but like an Irish person saying this, it would just boil my blood. So if I was like, Jesus, I'm after having a tough day there at work, I think I'm going to hit the sack. I sound like an absolute gobshite. So I never use this one. This idiom is super easy to learn how to use, no tutorial needed. I'm exhausted. It's time for me to hit the sack. Just, no, doesn't work for me. Feels forced, feels like idiom forcing. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Maybe if I had an American accent, 6 out of 10. I feel like you can pull it off better, but not an Irishman. Yeah, you missed the boat. It's too late. Again, this is just too polite for me. Use this when you let an opportunity or deadline pass. I forgot to apply for that study program abroad. Now I've missed the boat. Okay, so again, it's just, I would be far more expressive in this scenario. I'd be like, I forgot to apply for that study abroad program. I've gone down in flames. It's just too polite. I want more expressive. Miss the boat is just, it's not expressive enough for me. Although I suppose missing a boat is fairly shite. Because like, I suppose maybe miss the boat, I'm underestimating how expressive it is. Because if you miss a train, chances are that same fucking train's going to go again in an hour or two. Or 20 minutes. If you miss a boat, like boats aren't running on a 15-minute schedule. You're probably going to have to wait till fucking tomorrow. Like, they're not just pissing boats out the side of every, I was about to say fort, but that's not where boats go from. They go from a dock. They're not just pissing boats out of a dock. It's a relatively rare occasion that you're going to be getting on a boat. And missing it would be detrimental. So maybe I'm underselling miss the boat. Maybe I need to start using it. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. By the skin of your teeth. This means just barely. Phew, I passed that exam by the skin of my teeth. Hopefully you'll ace your exams. But if you only just pass, you can whip out this idiom. Actually read that pretty well, didn't I? Kind of didn't even fuck it up. Yeah, skin of your teeth. Teeth doesn't have skin. If they do, I don't know what's going on with my teeth, but they're very much skinless. I don't like this one because it doesn't mean anything. I got through that by the skin of my teeth. Would I say it? No, it would feel a bit forced, but people do say it, and it's okay. Like, it doesn't offend me. I think the skin of your teeth it's a rock solid 5 out of 10. Some people can use it, and it works for them. It doesn't mean anything, which pisses me off. So maybe that knocks it down to a 4 out of 10 because teeth doesn't have skin. I like a bit of a meaning behind an idiom. I'm going to give it 4.5 out of 10, I think. And on that note of this extremely interesting video that God knows how long this is. I've probably been talking for 4 hours about this. If you watch this, I am so sorry that you can't have that time back. But if you'd like to thank me, then you can like the video, please, and share it with everybody that you've ever met. And tell them watch the full thing, because YouTube loves it when you watch the full thing and you like the video and you comment saying, oh my god, this is such a great video. Make more, please. and then you subscribe to me, and then you go and watch all my other videos. You binge watch them, even though they're not they have very minimal entertainment value. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for a lot, okay? And make sure you subscribe to me, because I'm delicious, and you're probably delicious as well. Anyway, I'm gonna fuck off now.